Catching up with Head of Racing, Mr. Greg Gangle here at Lord's Raceway. Hello, Greg.
Hey, Paul. How are you?
Very, very well, mate. We've got a couple of little important announcements, I suppose, to make around the Vicbred vouchers and that, but a little bit of a tease over the back. The lights are laying down. Bendigo is going to go for a bit of a revamp over the next few months with the lighting and also a bit of shedding as well, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, a lot of works have been done in the background. Credit to Eric and Kirsten and the Bendigo committee. So LED track lights will commence the first Monday in July. I think it's the 6th, if memory serves me right. Put a VRIF application into government and we're successful. So we appreciate the support on behalf of the Victorian government. But coinciding at the same time is also going to be a roof over the stables, which I think most participants will agree has been long overdue. So yeah, plenty of work been done behind the scenes, and full credit to Eric and the committee and the Victorian government for their support.
Yep, it's going to be exciting. We race here every Wednesday night, the odd Saturday nights as well, Cup night as well, and Cup was well and truly featured in the Summer Carnival Cups here, so it was a kick-off, so pretty exciting place, and that shed's well and truly needed winter.
Yeah.
But as important, summer with those 40-degree days.
And also, too, just in relation to the track lights, you know, how energy efficient they will become, so should save the club roughly 30% to 40% in energy costs. So anything that we can do to, you know, to be more efficient with everything that we do within the industry is going to be well received.
Yep, and also very jealous because if you drive past them at night time, our friends next door, the greyhounds, they have them, and albeit it's a smaller track, but it's well and truly a lot brighter as you drive past. You do get a bit jealous of it, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. And I've been here on a number of Wednesday nights, and just some feedback from participants is, you know, the track lights has been needed for a while. We're glad to tick that box. You know, they have, you know, 40 plus race meetings a year, and obviously with the shed, you know, we're going to be approaching the off season, as I call it, or winter here in Australia. But even on a hot summer's day, you know, just be able to have some shelter and some cover for the both participants and animals is very crucial.
Well and truly overdue. Right, the main reason we wanted to catch up, and there will be a lot more of these getting done with harness racing, I suppose, members, if you like, yourself, Tim O'Connor, hopefully Glenn Lee from time to time as well, is when we do get some pretty important announcements, we want to make sure we can get them out there and hit every platform, if you like, the visual platform as well as the written and read platform. And the vouchers, the Vicbred vouchers that the state government gave us, there's been voucher races. A lot of people have had them. Myself and Marie have been lucky enough to have won $5,000 vouchers, and that's step one, winning them. Step two is actually utilising them. We want people to continue to use them and make sure that they do use those within that 2-year period. Yeah,
it's very crucial. Currently, we're sitting at roughly a 50% redemption rate. Roughly 270 vouchers are out there, so currently 50% have been redeemed. Very positive. Very positive. Yeah, absolutely, and continuing to grow. So roughly 40 vouchers were redeemed through the breeding season. A further 30 or 35 roughly through APG, and I believe 61 and growing through nutrients. So roughly a 50% redemption rate. We want to continue to escalate that and offer a little bit more flexibility. So what we're going to do is offer these vouchers to also be redeemed during the upcoming online winter sales throughout, I want to say May to August. So there's two online sales with APG.
Yep.
One through Nutrien, the winter woolies.
Yep.
And vouchers can be redeemable against Vicbred Platinum yearlings, weanlings, and in-foal mares that have been bred in Victoria. So again, we go through a bit of a patch where if we don't implement this type of initiative, we're going to kind of have the door closed for those vouchers to be redeemed, because, you know, breeding season is not just around the corner.
Yep.
So we want to offer that flexibility to encourage investment into the Victorian bloodstock
and keep turning that dollar around. Vicbred Platinum and Vicbred Pure?
Correct.
Yes, that's fine. I just wanted to get that one across because it is not Vicbred. That is the one part that they cannot be redeem a horse. So, you know, in one of these sales coming up, make sure that horse is Vicbred Platinum and Vicbred Pure.
Correct, and we've had discussions already with both sale companies, APG and Nutrien, to ensure that, you know, horses are properly ticked off as far as what their eligibility status is, and we'll work closely with the sale companies to ensure that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. But just from a commercial point of view, if somebody is sitting on a voucher, here's another opportunity to invest into the Victorian industry, and that's what the voucher is set out to do. So we just want to encourage that flexibility.
And the reason why we're trying to get this out, I think. I know Nutrien goes online early May for the nominations, not the actual sale, but for people to nominate. And I would imagine that APG are in a similar boat. They'd be calling for noms at a similar time. And we want people to be aware that, you have that opportunity to potentially put a horse on the market, and someone, knowing that there is that opportunity that people have got these vouchers could potentially buy that horse. And that's the idea of it, and get the message out there, not just for people to buy them, but also if you've got a horse and you want to put it on the market, it could be a really opportune time to put a horse out there on the market.
Yeah, absolutely. Or let's say you got a mare in the backyard or that has a weanling at foot. Perhaps there's an opportunity there to buy one to run with it, or look to pinhook a weanling.
Yes.
Right? So there's commercial opportunities, and we want to offer that flexibility.
Yeah, and it also gives the people that have won one, and will win one. I think there's one win off.
I shouldn't say that most mares most of them are weaned by now, but yeah.
No. Come out to our place, none of them are.
Okay.
So they're still there.
Okay.
They're still there. There are a lot of people doing it, but we haven't got there yet. So but it is that time. But you're right. But the opportunity of being able to purchase a weanling and take them through the sales, and the vouchers go off. I think there was one. Because I heard Lockie, I reckon, call a voucher race. Might have been here last Saturday night.
Yeah,
I think
and the overall feedback has been nothing short of positive. We see trainers on a weekly basis specifically targeting these type of races, and that's what we want to see. It encourages full fields. Very rarely do we see a race with a voucher fall over or be deleted from the program. So no doubt trainers are targeting them, and that's the name of the game. So it's been well received. We're going to kind of take a further step and really engage with the voucher winners already and people that haven't redeemed one, just for some further feedback on, are you going to use the voucher, what are you going to use it for, and just thoughts on the program. Because in the overall view, when we put the application together many months ago, we seen this as a long-term initiative, but we want to build on that.
Yep.
So this is going to be some feedback and to help support the business case for when we go back to government to try and escalate this even further for years to come on behalf of the industry.
They're pretty important. And look, you say people target them. I will say we didn't actually realise we'd won one, but it's a nice little bonus when you do. But Marie said to me a day later, she said, "Oh, we want a Vicbred bonus on top." So it's $5,000. We do breed. We won't be potentially won't be using ours as buying. We'll be using ours with service fees.
Yep.
But that's the opportunity. You get that opportunity to be able to do that with them as well.
Yeah, correct. And just looking at the most recent sale and just doing some quick math, if there's roughly 60 vouchers that have been redeemed for Nutrien, well, there's $300,000 invested into the industry that perhaps maybe a fraction, or we don't know what percentage, might not have. So it does encourage investment, and we want to continue to grow that. So that's why I said we're going to go out and target the voucher winners and get some feedback. And like anything else, when we go back to government, there might be some tweaks that we might want to make with the application. But overall, we had a meeting with them earlier this week and explained to them where we're at just as far as the redemption rate, and they're pleased. So we just want to keep the pedal to the metal.
A couple of little key things. Don't put them underneath your pillow and think you've got them for 4 or 5 years. They are 2 years.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, correct. So the vouchers actually, the last voucher will actually coincide with the Vicbred Super Series.
Yep.
So they do run out. So there's roughly 550, give or take. But once that last voucher has been released, and as far as programming, you still have the breeding season, so this upcoming breeding season in 2026/2027, and the yearling sales in 2027. So the final cutoff date is actually May 1st, 2027.
So 12 months' time.
Correct.
So you've got 12 months' time from now. So when I say 2 years, it is not 2 years from when you win
Correct.
it. It'll be
spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on. So basically, how I would look at it is you have your your winter online sales.
Yep.
You have one breeding season and one yearling season.
Yep, right. Okay, so that part's important. And then the other part was they must be Vicbred Platinum to the very least.
Yep.
And Vicbred Pure.
That's correct.
But they can be mares.
Yep.
They can be racing stock, and they can be
they can be
yearlings.
yearlings, weanlings, and in-foal mares that have been bred in Victoria.
Okay,
so ultimately,
not racing stock. So yeah,
correct.
So weanlings,
not race
yearlings,
horses. Yep.
Weanlings, yearlings, and in-foal mares
that have been bred in Victoria. Correct.
Yep. Well, they have to be redeemed. They're going to be platinum. So
correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. If you have any queries, the easiest way to work out if you're not sure if your horse is platinum and you want to put it in the sale and you want to make sure you do it all properly, give the office a call.
Yeah, 100%.
It's easy enough to look it up, but give the office a call if you're not sure.
Give us a call. Adrian and Stephen, our customer service team, have been all over this initiative from day one, and we run into queries all the time. You can give myself a ring. We're happy to help whenever we can. can. And the one thing I will say is when we did start this process, it was a body of work to get to where we are, but it's become such a seamless process as far as processing. Multiple departments have been involved with this, whether it be IT, finance, of course racing. But one of the beauties about it is, you win a voucher, and the very next morning at 10 a.m. you get an email saying, congratulations, here's your voucher. That's how quickly we've been able to expedite the process to get these vouchers into the hands of recipients, as opposed to waiting a couple of weeks where you might have wanted to use it for breed or to buy a yearling, whatever it is. So credit to the team, and hopefully we keep on pushing it along.
Yep, and they can be, as you said, up to 60 at the minute, and I think people are trying to finalise their accounts. They can be used obviously at those nutrient sales that have just finished. I would imagine they've been redeemed already for the APG sale because it was a month or two earlier on. But as long as they're in Victoria, as long as they're Vicbred Platinum or Pure, for those yearling sales. And then if you've got a weanling or a yearling or an infoal broodmare, going through the online sales, which is very, very important as well. They're all coming up. Go to apggold.com.au or nutrientstandardbred.com.au to look for when they are coming out. I do wear one of those hats, but this is an industry announcement. We want to make sure, and it's important, I think, for our industry. And as I said, I'm hoping we can continue to do these and do a lot more of them with yourself, Tim O'Connor, even a couple of race callers when important things come out. Yeah, because I think one that a lot of people still probably haven't got their head around, or there's not a lot of fanfare about it, is the Vicbreds. You mentioned them there before. Back to where they were. That stake money is coming back. It is,
as far as the Super Series, yes. Yeah,
so we're back to where we were.
Correct. The 2 and 3 year olds. So it wasn't that long ago we put out a press release just in regards to the Breeders' Crown and what that looks like going forward. But that is being reinvested back into the Vicbred for the 2 and 3 year olds. So the 2 and 3 year old Vicbred Super Series finals for 2 and 3 year olds will go back to the prize money they were, call it, 2 years ago. So 2 and 3 year old trotters will race for 100,000 versus 60, and 2 and 3 year old pacers back up to 150 compared to 100 where they currently were.
Throw you on the spot, the group status on the pacers, because I think
we just recently applied and had approval. Actually, just I want to say yesterday. So back up to Group 1 for the pacers.
Awesome. Okay. Very, very good. That's great, because it should have been, but it was. And I don't mind that. I think as long as HRA are consistent across the board and make
we go through the process. We put the application in nice and early, and it was accepted yesterday.
Yep, great, which is awesome. But the trotters always were.
Yep, correct. But still up to 100,000. That's correct.
Exactly. Greg, thank you. As I said, it's a pretty important announcement for the industry to continue using it. We need to use these so we can get another lot of them and go forward and continue to build it and grow with the government as well. So we want to make sure people use them, so then the government say, well, they're worthwhile doing. So
and it's worthwhile saying too, we've had a lot of dialogue with our harness breeders Victoria, John Coffey and Desiree and co. So we appreciate their feedback. We meet on a regular basis, and no doubt the vouchers are brought up on a regular occurrence, and so they're brought on the journey, and we appreciate their feedback and working with them, especially around applying it to the winter sales, has been well received on their end, and we appreciate their feedback as well.
Mate, thank you. Might be the last ones of these. Might be the last one at Bendigo for a while if they're going to a hiatus for a bit. But
we'll have to do it in daylight because there will be no track lights.
Yeah, good point. It is in daylight. Mind you, it's got a bit dark there, but that's okay. Mate, thank you. Really appreciate it. And thank you very much to Harness Racing Victoria. I was going to say HRV as well for getting these out there. And as I said, we're going to continue to try and grow and reach more and more people and get the message out there. And there will be more of these coming. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul.